Hi, my name is Nate, and I passed all 4 CPA exams in just 3 months. If you want to pass your CPA exams as fast as possible, keep watching. Because in the next 6 minutes, I'm going to tell you how I did it. But first, let me prove it to you. Now this is my official NASBA score sheet. As you can see, the first passing exam was October 22nd, 2013, with the last passing date of January 26, 2014. So that's about 4 days over 3 months. Now, before I get into this, I want you to understand I am not a genius, not even close. In fact, I have very average intelligence, at best. I simply discovered a better way of studying that is faster, less stressful, and it gets better results than the normal way of studying. And I tried the normal way once. Here's what happened. I finished my master's degree, and I had 3 months off before I started my new job in public accounting. Now my plan was to at least get done with FAR in those 3 months. So I did what you're supposed to do. I watched the lectures, I read the chapters, and I went through the questions. But as you know, you're probably familiar with this, I spent more time zoning out than I did actually learning from the lectures or the chapters. The study process was just so burdensome and boring, not to mention overwhelming. And when my exam day came, I just really did not feel prepared. Once I sat down in the Prometric Center and I saw the exam in person, I realized I had studied completely wrong. And when my score came back, I was close, but I had got the dreaded 74. And that was on FAR. So I was pretty bummed for a few days. Then I knew there was no choice but to try it again, so I rededicated myself to starting the study process over again. But this time, I had these new strategies in my mind that I was going to try and that I thought would save me a ton of time going forward. In my mind, I refused to accept the idea that passing all 4 exams would take me a year or more. I was working at the time and I just couldn't deal with that mentally, the idea of getting up early and studying every day for a year or more while going to work full time. So this time around, I put these new ideas I had in place and I blew through the lessons, I retained more info, and within 3 months I had passed all 4 sections. And best day of my life was finding out that I had passed Reg, which was my 4th test. Now what I want to do is teach you how to do the same thing. So what I've done is I've condensed everything I did to pass my exams into a video training course. And I just call this the Superfast CPA system because that's what it is. It teaches you how to study differently, much faster than the normal way, and it gets better results than the normal way. So what this is, the course includes over 10 video modules that will walk you through every tip, trick, and strategy I used to pass all 4 exams in 3 months. So here's a look inside the course. This is what the members' homepage looks like. And you can't see all the modules, obviously, but each module contains a high-quality video where I walk through the concepts, the tips, and the strategies for that module. And then this is a lesson page. So you have the video on the left. You can download the MP3 of the video if you'd rather listen to it in the gym or in your car or whatever. Now here's some of what you'll learn, some of the actual strategies. You're going to learn the optimal order to take the sections in and why taking certain sections first will make the other sections easier. You're going to learn why the traditional way of studying is flawed and how to approach the entire study process in a much more effective and efficient way. You're going to learn the correct balance of practicing questions with watching lectures that will eliminate wasted time and the zoning out. You're also going to learn how to breeze through most lessons in minutes instead of hours, and there's several tricks to doing that, and you'll know the material better after you go through it. You're also going to learn the study method that is 10 times more effective than reading or watching a lecture, and how to apply it to blow through the lessons like I mentioned. You're going to learn the correct order of using a review course's different resources, and the issue with this is most people spend way too much time on the wrong things that don't actually help. You're going to learn 3 of the biggest time wasters that you probably do right now, that people use to feel like they're busy and feel like they're studying and getting things accomplished, but that don't actually help at all, that are a complete waste of time. You're going to learn a framework for watching the lectures that will make it much easier to retain the information and apply it to questions. No more watching the lecture and then wondering what you were supposed to learn from it. You're going to learn why one of the most common pieces of advice that you hear people say about studying for the CPA exam that is completely wrong and what to do instead. And this one tip will save you hours and hours and hours and most likely result in you passing the first time. It's a big one. You're also going to learn my 2 secret sauces for the study process. And once you see what these are, you will instantly understand why it's a better way. It'll make a lot of sense to you. And these are the 2 biggest things that made the difference for me. There's about 20 minutes dedicated to implementing these 2 secret sauces into your study process. You're going to learn several methods of memorizing and retaining concepts and formulas like a sponge, instead of everything going in and out of your head like a bucket with a hole in the bottom. You're going to learn how to get better and better at everything you've studied while moving through the new material, so that you don't get to the end and need to do the normal final review cramming process and end up forgetting everything on test day anyways. You're going to learn why the regular final review process is flawed as well, and what to do in that last week that will dramatically increase your test scores while being much less stressful. You're going to learn the number 1 most important time management metric for the CPA exam and how to become a pro at it. And again, this is something that I just kind of figured out on my own. It's the only thing that matters as far as time management during the CPA exam, and they never really talk about this in the review courses. You'll also learn why the traditional approach to practicing simulations is wrong and how to approach them instead. This was another huge realization I had when I saw the FAR exam for the first time in person. When I got to the simulations, I instantly knew I had approached them completely wrong. You're going to learn the specific strategies for completing the simulations on exam day that will make them much more manageable, and it will get you more points. You'll also learn some advanced personal motivation techniques so that you quit dreading your study sessions. And this might sound like something, why do I want to know motivation techniques? That sounds stupid. If you really think about it, the biggest thing I hear from people that are struggling through the study process is that the study process itself day to day becomes unbearable. So they can't mentally get themselves to study effectively. And so these new study techniques you will learn in the Superfast CPA course, in addition with personal motivation techniques, being able to get yourself to sit down and actually work through the study sessions, it's huge. It will allow you to actually just get yourself to sit down and do it day to day, and just get to the point where when exam day comes, you just pass the exam because you've done things correctly. You're going to learn how to create time in your day for your core study sessions and how to make these sessions 10 times more effective than what you've been doing. You'll also learn the exact amount of time you need to study each day, and it's probably less than what you're doing right now. And again, these sessions are going to be more effective, much more effective than what you're already doing. You'll also learn the perfect study routine for your weekends, and you'll still have time for your favorite activities. And there's a lot more strategies and tips inside the individual modules that I didn't mention here. So the key points, the biggest benefits after learning the Superfast CPA system, you will be able to accomplish 3 to 5 times as much or more during each study session. And again, each study session will probably be less time than what you're doing right now. You'll learn how to motivate yourself to stay on track and focus in each study session until you've passed all 4 exams. You'll also learn several study methods and strategies that will combine and condense and simplify the study process to where it's just easy. You know exactly what you need to do when you sit down each day, instead of it being complicated, ambiguous, and frustrating. You will learn more while studying less. That's the biggest point to this whole approach. I did not want these 4 exams to take me a year, and I just figured out a way and got them done in a fourth of a year. So the big bottom line is you will pass your exams much sooner than you would have otherwise, as long as you follow the system. So to get started, simply click the order button, and I will see you inside the members area.